This is the fifth in a series of short videos on route planning and GPS navigation. If you haven't seen the previous videos, there are links in the description below. A few details are specific to Rever, Garmin, and motorcycle travel, but the majority of the information applies to whatever types of travel interest you and whatever travel tools you like to use. For planning, I like to use Rever's web-based application on my home computer, in part because it offers motorcycle-oriented routing with Butler Maps overlays and additional means to find interesting roads. I have a Rever Pro membership, which currently costs about $40 a year. Rever also includes a very nice smartphone application for navigation. But to protect my expensive smartphone, I've mounted a motorcycle-specific Garmin Zumo XT sat-nav on my handlebars. Tutorials and online documentation for each of them is readily available online, so I won't repeat that information here. This video focuses on options for getting planned routes from the planning application to the sat-nav device, specifically from Rever to Garmin. Again, most of this information will be helpful regardless of which specific applications and devices you use. This will take a few minutes to explain, but in the end, it will all make sense, and you will hopefully understand why I bothered with all the general information in the early videos. It all comes together here. I've mentioned that terminology differences can lead to confusion, so I'll start with some terminology differences between these two. When planning a route with Rever, every specific point is a waypoint. The starting and ending locations, any desired stops or interesting points along the way, and any points used to shape the route along the desired roads are all waypoints. Garmin, and some others, differentiate several types of points. Waypoint, which is also called a favorite by Garmin, is simply a saved point. Importantly, waypoints are not part of a defined route or track. Routes are calculated between specified route points, which can be divided into two subtypes, via points and shaping points. The differences are important during navigation, but not during route calculation. Via points are used to specify the start and end points of the route, as well as any other important points to be visited along the way. During navigation, via points provide an alert on arrival. Shaping points are those additional points specified only to shape the route along the desired road or path. These are sometimes referred to as via points that do not alert. Again, both via points and shaping points are route points, which are used to calculate a route. Garmin also supports hidden points in a route. As the previous video discussed, these are formatted as route point extensions in a GPX file, but they're not used to recalculate a route. Routes are made up of route points and route point extensions. Route points may be differentiated as via or shaping. You may remember from the second video that a track is made up of track points. Let's assume I've planned out the perfect route with Rever's web-based application. Now I want to export it for navigation using my Garmin Zumo XT. Rever will export the route formatted as either a track or as a route. Either way, the GPX file basically contains the same information, just formatted differently. In order to accurately represent the route, Rever will export either a large number of track points if a track is exported, or if a route is exported, start and end route points with a large number of route point extensions. This formatting is typical for various routing applications. In either case, Rever also includes the original user-specified waypoints. In a GPX file, the common formatting includes a list of waypoints, followed by a separate track or route. The waypoints are not part of the track or route. This separated formatting is typical for GPX files exported from various routing applications. It's also true for other file formats. For example, Google My Maps exports KML or KMZ files, which include a long line string of coordinates and a set of place mark coordinates. As I said, waypoint means different things to different applications. On import, Garmin treats waypoints, also called favorites, as points to be saved independent of a route or track. Routes versus tracks have several implications on import. Before getting into details, I'll briefly note three common export-import approaches. 1. Import and follow the track only. 2. Import the route and be sure to never recalculate it. 3. Import the track and convert it to a route. The results and limitations of each of these will pretty much apply regardless of what application or sat-nav device you import to. I'll use Garmin Basecamp on my computer to illustrate. By the way, if you tried Basecamp and it made you cringe, fear not. You just need a few key tips. I'll put those in a future video. EasyMoto Tim's Garmin Basecamp tutorials are excellent. There's a link in the description. If you prefer MRA Route Planner, see Craig Ripley's using Rever and MRA Route Planner to create GPS routes. Again, link in the description. Most of what I discuss here should be applicable regardless of which tools or devices you prefer. I'll import both the track and the route from Rever. An imported track simply remains a large set of static track points. They will not change. That's a good thing, but as discussed in the previous videos, a track is more limited than a route. Option 1 works if you accept those limitations and intend to only follow the track visually. An imported route initially looks just fine because all of the route point extensions are plotted along with the 2 via points. On route recalculation, however, only the 2 available route points at the start and end of the route are used. Any intermediate points that the user had carefully planned out in Rever are lost. That's why option 2 requires you to never recalculate the route. If you're willing to limit yourself to a track, or if you want to commit to never recalculating the route, you can import directly from Rever to the Garmin Zumo XT. Rever offers an online tutorial, link in the description. Option 3, converting the track to a route, can be done in either of 2 ways. The simplest way results in the same limited 2 via point route as option 2. The other way requires using the direct routing algorithm during the conversion, so that the number of resulting via points can be specified. And then converting back to a more appropriate routing algorithm. See the links in the description for a detailed tutorial on this from EasyMoto Tim. It does result in a much better route, generally following the original if you specify enough waypoints. The route can easily be changed and safely recalculated. However, the resulting via points are somewhat random locations with meaningless names. The original waypoints are lost. In other words, option 3 isn't too bad, but we should be able to do better. Some of the original waypoints are places we specifically wanted to visit, via points. The other waypoints are locations we added to the route to follow interesting roads, shaping points. Track points prevent route changes due to differing route calculations by different applications of devices, but tracks have limitations. What if we could have the best of both worlds? What if we could export a route using the original waypoints, tagging each of them as via or shaping points? What if between those original waypoints, we could include just a few of the track points as shaping points so that the original route, or at least something very close to it, could be reliably recalculated by whatever application or device we want imported to. It's a simple GPX file formatting exercise to convert waypoints to via or shaping points, and to convert a few selected track points to shaping points. I couldn't find a tool available that would do it, so I wrote my own. It's free to use, no strings attached. It's called Track to Route. There's a link in the description. The next video in this series demonstrates my overall route export-import process, from the Rever web app to the Garmin Zumo XT sat-nav, including how the Track to Route application works to improve the imported route. Whatever method you choose, I'd highly recommend that you carefully check the final results at a closed zoom level on your navigation device of choice before you get on the road. Unexpected route recalculation while traveling can quickly turn a great trip into a frustrating one. If you appreciate the effort I've put into making this series, please click that like button. Thanks.